I'm in the process of breaking down my set, and I figured I'd do a quick little review of the Lone Wolf Razor camera arm. I did go with their phone attachment head, and I also bought a fluid head that I swap onto here too at times. But I'm kind of a minimalist. I'm trying to streamline, not carry a ton of extra gear. So instead of running the DSLR and the fluid head, I tend to find myself just running the phone because it's just less equipment I have to carry. I mean, let's face it, if you're looking at the Razor arm for its lightweight packability, you're probably in the same kind of boat that I was in. So I went with the 3-segment, and I did that because I figured it's better to have the little extra room and not need it than need it and not have it. But I found that you can really get around the tree well with the 3-arm. The only issue I've had with this guy so far, I've been running it this entire season here in PA, is the level that used to live right here in the top liberated itself at some point in time, and I have no idea where that ended up. I did reach out to Lone Wolf. They are getting me a new one in the mail. I just haven't received it yet. And it's not a major issue, but I do find that quite often I'm trying to cinch this down and tighten it with both hands on my phone a little bit better. Because for whatever reason, as I'm sitting here throughout the day, moving around, sending texts on the phone, things like that, this does seem to come a little loose. And it doesn't really matter how tight I run it down. The phone will just work a little bit loose. That could just be an issue with the case that I have. It's hard to say. I do just have your standard OtterBox case, so it's nothing out of the ordinary, but I have noticed that it does work a little loose. Not to the point that it's ever fallen out or anything like that. Just something to note that I do find myself retightening it fairly often. And I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to mitigate this yet, but see if I can get it to do it. There. That metal sound from the camera arm. Now your phone does sit down in there and makes it a little bit better as far as the noise goes, but I do find, especially if you're on a hillside and you're panning up and then back down, that tends to be when I catch a little bit more of the metal on metal noise. I don't know if I can drop a little bit of moleskin or something in there to try to make that a little quieter, but occasionally, like I said, panning up and down, I do get that metal sound. It's not terrible, but if you do have the deer in close, that is something that they may notice. But yeah, I've been very pleased with it all in all. It's everything as advertised. Small, lightweight, packs up nice and small, despite the fact that it just uses this little, looks like a small claw of a hammer to dig into the tree at the bottom. With this, I'll call it a set screw, you're actually able to get a fantastic bite where, that thing is solid as a rock. You could hang something pretty sizable from the bottom of that if you wanted to. But yeah, I've been throwing it in my pack just like that, or sometimes even just in my pocket. These cargo pockets will actually hold that guy pretty well. Just the top will stick out. So I personally love it. I'm glad I purchased it. I think my filming has gotten that much better now that I've incorporated this as well. It's everything as advertised. Small, lightweight, very packable. Just a couple little things, that level. I'm assuming that's a fluke, but if you wanted to, you could throw a little drop of glue on there, or even run like a clear piece of tape over the top just to make sure that little level stays secure, because it was pretty nifty. Not having it, I've found that I am not always eyeballing that thing perfectly straight. And then that little bit of metal on metal noise. I'm going to try to figure out how to eliminate that. Other than that, this thing has been phenomenal. With the fluid head in the DSLR, there is a little bit more bounce when you're fully extended. And right now there's no phone, so there's really no weight out here, but you can see there is a little bounce in it, but that's to be expected, really, when you're running such a small camera arm. You know, if you want something that's gonna be a lot more stable, you're gonna be looking at probably carrying something in the woods that you're not gonna want to mount up to a tree. Now, if you're looking for a lightweight, packable, and just overall very useful, that's the camera arm for you. I mean, a lot of the other companies have tubular designs, and they're nowhere near as streamlined as this guy is. So hopefully that helps. Until next time, shoot straight.